Every story's got a pattern, like a trail of sand leading out into the Dune Sea. You follow it long enough, you start to see the shapes behind the storm. And this one's starting to look less like a coincidence and more like a plan. It all started when Adam Driver let slip a name that wasn't supposed to exist. The Hunt for Ben Solo. A full script, Lucasfilm funded, shuttered before daylight. No announcement, no concept art, just gone. And then the dominoes started to fall. In the days and the weeks that follow, we got leak after leak, banners flying high above Disney HQ, billboards in Times Square, almost methodical, inorganic. And then the official Star Wars channel posts a scene from The Rise of Skywalker. Ben and Rey shoulder to shoulder against old Palps himself. The kind of clip that don't just randomly resurface, not without purpose. Then came the legacy of Vader comics. Kylo Ren back in the spotlight, center frame on every variant cover, and on the horizon, the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens. A perfect storm of nostalgia and mystery, just waiting to break. Now here's where it gets tricky. The so-called Rey movie, the one about rebuilding the Jedi Order, keeps stalling out. Creative differences, scheduling delays, the usual smoke. So maybe, just maybe, someone in the back halls of old Lucasfilm dusted off that old Hunt for Ben Solo script, but they needed the fans to ask for it first. See where I'm going? It's too clean, too deliberate. Like someone's pulling the strings from the shadows, stirring up rumors, letting the story leak, dropping a few perfectly timed social media posts, all to convince the higher-ups at Disney that there's still gold in the Solo name. And me, I've been staring at the evidence for days. Feeds, posts, videos, all pointing in the same direction. Every instinct in me saying that this is marketing. The smartest, quietest campaign that Lucasfilm's ever run. But I can't prove it. Not yet. So I sit here watching the rain streak from the window, wondering if the greatest con Lucasfilm ever pulled was making us believe the case was closed.
I'm sorry, what?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beyond the Dune Sea. It's a show all about that galaxy far, far away and just a little beyond. My name's Konnor.
And I'm Seth.
And boy, guys, we got something wild for you today. I've been staring. I've been searching, trying to figure out what does this all mean right here. What does it all mean? Because just randomly on a Tuesday or whatever it was on October 20th, you know what happens? What happens?
What happens?
This guy right here.
Yeah.
He's being interviewed for some movie that comes out in December, and he's like, oh, by the way, you're never going to believe this. Full movie. Not just an idea, not just a little tiddlywink of a script. No, an entire thing. Paid $3 million for it.
Yeah.
With Steven Soderbergh, Oscar-winning director.
Yeah. Steve
Burns writing it. The whole thing was made.
Yeah.
The Disney says, nah, ain't happening.
No way.
Not happening. It's just, there's more to the story. There's more. I'm telling you guys, there's more to this story. I got it here. Look at this. Look at this. This is all. These are my words, homie. Right here. You know what I mean? Like we got
pages on pages, guys.
Pages on pages.
Yes.
So we're gonna take a crack at some of the evidence, and we're gonna show you that today the Hunt for Ben Solo's got a little bit more than just, leaks and rumors. Maybe it's all deliberate. Seth, what do you know about the Hunt for Ben Solo?
I don't know. I think that you're going to need to educate me. I mean, let's be real. I know about the comics, and that's about it. What's going on with Kylo in the comics.
Okay.
But that's about it. Other than that, you're going to have to educate me.
Well, let's start from the beginning. What happens here on... Let me get my notes.
Yeah.
Seth, can we chill with the typewriter?
Well, I can't
hear myself think.
I know, but I'm taking all your notes.
I got them all. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just... Don't you want your story chronicled? Don't you want your story chronicled? Yes or no?
Yeah, you know what? I do.
Okay. So occasionally you're going to have to hear that.
Okay, I get it.
So sorry to the folks at home.
Well, on October 20th,
yeah.
okay, Adam Driver does an interview with the AP. Okay?
Yeah.
You want to hear a little bit about what this guy said?
Sure.
Let me just, I brought receipts, folks.
Yeah.
Receipts upon receipts. Mm-hmm. So this, geez, it's just, the evidence piles up. What are you going to do? So, the author of this article, Jake Coyle, on October 20th. And it starts out with this kind of funny little memento here. It says that there was a photo that the author had seen, including one of Driver and his son in the Millennium Falcon. A friend who saw this said, "Oh, so you do care," Driver said, chuckling. You know, because he's been often criticized of not really caring about Kylo Ren.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
I mean, he does poke fun of it on SNL and things like that. Yes.
Well, I mean, he hasn't talked about it for a while.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
We get down later in the article, and this is ground zero, folks. Okay, this is where it all starts. He says, speaking of Star Wars, I was always interested in doing another Star Wars, says Driver, who starred as Kylo Ren in the trilogy kicked off by The Force Awakens. And he said, I had been talking about doing another one since 2021. Now, look, this is the first piece of evidence that we got to look at. Okay, you with me? You following me so far?
I'm right here, 2021, first piece of evidence.
Exhibit A, the board. You see this guy right here?
That's Bob Iger.
That's Bob Iger.
Yeah.
He stepped down. He was not CEO in 2021.
He was not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was in what year? He came back November of 2022. So, okay, you with me? Adam Driver starts a script.
Yes.
And this idea with Kathleen Kennedy and Steven Soderbergh, who Kathleen Kennedy is the one who reached out, by the way. So this is what, guys, if you know the show, you guys know I split up Disney and Lucasfilm. And this is why, because they are two separate entities. And sometimes they're not always on the same page. So 2021 comes around. He said, I've been talking about doing a new one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy reached out. Is that loud? I'm muting you. Where you at? There we go. Kathleen Kennedy reached out. I always said, with a great director and a great story, I'd be there in a second. I love that character. Love playing him. Later on, he says, we presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea.
Loved it.
They totally understood our angle and what we were doing with it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman. These Joshes there.
Yes.
And they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive.
Well, hold on. These are the same people.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I know.
Palpatine returned.
It was called The Hunt for Ben Solo. It was really cool, but it is no more, so I can finally talk about it. But you know what, Adam? Is it no more? Is it? We're going to find out. We're going to find out, because that's where our story starts. Adam Driver drops his bombshell. And as you may well know, if you've been around the Star Wars, if you've been around the Dune Sea and the rest of, the Outer Rim.
Yeah.
That's all anybody's been able to talk about for the last couple weeks. And so it's been really interesting, because I remember myself when I heard this news, I was pretty ticked. I was like, for real, Disney? Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Right?
I get you.
I'm like, Kylo Ren's awesome. I love Ben Solo. And it seemed like a no-brainer. And like everybody else, I'm like, we could do somehow Palpatine return, but not somehow Ben Solo return.
Come on, guys.
What are we doing?
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 So that's kind of where things start. And I think it is my theory, as you're about to find out. You guys think I'm doing a bit. I'm not doing a bit. I can't even find my pages. There they are.
Yeah.
I just want to walk you through the timeline. And then we'll go.
We'll just take you through.
Yeah.
Just take you through everything.
So I'm going to walk you through this.
Because the more you hear it, the more all of a sudden you start seeing the patterns.
The patterns, they line up.
Exactly.
The numbers, Mason, what do they mean?
Exactly.
I'm telling you. Okay, listen, guys. October 20th, 2025, Adam interview reveals the hunt for Ben Solo. 20th to 21st, the media picks up the story. Soderbergh burns names. That's when you start getting blue sky posts from Soderbergh where he's like, yeah, I made the movie in my head. I'm sorry you guys won't be able to see it. I hate that, we had to keep it a secret, all this stuff. October 22nd. This is a big one, guys. Okay, you know what? This is what's ridiculous.
This is the big day.
Check this out.
Big day.
Official Star Wars account posts Rey and Kylo Ren versus Palpatine. You're just telling me they just happened to drop the post like that? They just happened to drop it? Huh? Yeah, you're right, Kate. There are a bunch of bozos out there tried to, fool us into thinking that this was all, just a coinky dink. I don't think so. So that's October 22nd. October 22nd, 24th. Now we're starting to see brand social medias. We're all reposting the clip. We're trying to theory craft what's going on. The hashtags, the hunt for Ben Solos.
Yes.
Okay. Then this is when things start to get a little crazy here. As if things weren't crazy enough.
This is the spotlight.
October 23rd, fan-made paid banner flies over Lucasfilm, boom, right there, over Disney HQ saying, save the hunt for Ben Solo. Guys, I don't know if you know this. Come here. That costs a lot of money. Who's paying for that?
I don't know, but they got some scratch.
They got something.
They got some Skrilla.
They got something. So that costs a lot of money to fly something over there. So now I'm starting to think maybe this ain't so grassroots as we've been led to believe.
Yeah.
October 24th through 27th, a billboard is paid for in Times Square. Right there. No one's ever really gone. The hunt for Ben Solo. Ben is alive. October 24th. This one's really interesting. I'll go into more detail about this in a second, but the Playlist publishes a detailed article on maybe the political motivations. When I say political, I mean the Disney internal politics that's going on that might have had a role in this cancellation. That's where you get these guys. I wrote here, as you can see, I so eloquently put these MFers said no to this movie. And I think that's an accurate descriptor.
Look at the smiles.
That's Mr. Alan Bergman. That's Mr. Bob Iger.
Look at the smiles. Bob Iger holding Grogu. What's that about?
Insane.
Yep.
Insane. So then things, the trail dies down for a little bit. Okay. We don't get anything for a couple weeks. Yeah, the hashtags are rolling. Yeah, we're chatting. But then Legacy of Kylo Ren, issue 10, which Seth could tell us a little bit more about. What happens in that issue involving old Ben Solo?
So this actually takes place between the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Kylo is trying. He knows Luke Skywalker's dead. He doesn't know why. He wants to have a reckoning, basically. And so he attempts to have Skywalker appear before him, and he somehow is able to travel to where Force ghosts go. That's all I'm going to say.
So we just so happened, in the midst of all of this, to find out about the netherworld of the Force.
Yep.
And how Ben just happened to go chill with some Force ghosts.
Yes.
A little curious, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some very important Force ghosts, might I add. Maybe the most important.
But that's not it, folks, because then November 10th, 12th rolls around. That's this week.
Yeah.
You remember a guy named Ryan Johnson, Seth? Does that ring a bell?
Ryan Johnson. Now, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Yeah, he directed a little movie called Looper and Brick, but then he made The Last Jedi later on.
Didn't he also do an episode of Breaking Bad?
Several, actually.
It is.
In fact, the worst one and the best one, which is wild. That's how, that's Ryan Johnson's range right there.
Well, there you go.
You got.
Would you look at that?
Starts, making some mentions on some podcasts, about maybe this thing would be cool to see it. And, that'd be pretty cool, right? And then the final little piece here, I think that we need to bring up. Guys, folks at home, what's happening here in just a few weeks? December 18th, 2015. I'm going to Winter Soldier you guys. December 18th, 2015. What happened on that day?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a very special birthday.
I just dropped my stuff.
You just killed it.
But yeah, that's it. The 10th anniversary of The Force Awakens. And so let me lay out my conclusion, because we have, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Who could have thought? I forgot an important piece of this puzzle, something that you guys might think is unrelated, because so far I'm just laying out a timeline, right? Coincidence. But as Darth What's-Her-Face says in KOTOR 2, as one who's skilled in the ways of the Force, you should know there's no such thing as coincidences. So let me point you to exhibit C, B, I don't know what I'm on. This one. See that lady? Daisy Ridley. She came out
the dame
in 2023 celebration announcing her movie. Everybody's hyped. What's going on? But now we are 2 years later. Nothing. We got nothing official anyway.
Where is it? Where's the movie?
We got
Mando and Grogu.
We got We got Mando and Grogu.
We got Starfighter.
We got Starfighter.
Where's the Rey movie?
Yeah, I mean, she walked out on stage after all.
She did.
But you recall over the last, couple of years, if you've been plugged into the space, if you're chronically online like we are, you might have noticed that this movie keeps seeing delays over and over and over and over again. Writing delays, creative decisions. What's going on with this Rey movie? So, here's my conclusion, folks. Here's what I'm saying definitively. I think that, yes, the hunt for Ben Solo was canceled in 2022-ish, somewhere around there. But then they start having issues with this Rey movie, and they're like, guys, you know what? Did we not? We got a sequel movie. We already paid $3 million for it, right? Why not dust that off and see where that takes us? But, we don't want to risk. Disney already said no. So what if we let the fans ask for it?
Oh.
Because you might have noticed.
Little Deadpool action?
Yeah, maybe your keen peepers out there might have noticed this. I got the Todd father there in the corner. I got Andrew Garfield up there. What are they doing here in a Star Wars discussion? Here's the other piece of this puzzle, folks. Leak marketing has been proven to work, and it has been proven to work with a Disney-owned property in Star Wars and Spider-Man No Way Home. Let me give you 2 examples in recent memory about this, and let me get you on my side. So, in early, 2021, because that's when
Jamie Foxx.
Yep,
I remember that. I'm writing that down.
Thank you. Jamie Foxx. Why is Todd Howard here? I just showed up. We're getting there, guys. Look, it all connects.
I was gonna say,
it all makes sense.
All the dots connect.
You'll see.
I know it's crazy, but it's all real.
So, Spider-Man No Way Home. Seth, I'm gonna need you to lock it in because you were there for this. I need you to put.
I remember having discussions about this with you.
Yeah. Jamie Foxx posts a picture that has 3 Spider-Man and him. In fact, I got the picture up there. He says something, and then he has to quickly delete it. Already starting to spark the controversy. Are they coming back? Is Andrew and Toby coming back?
Are they making more Spider-Man movies?
Yeah. They're gonna come. That's crazy.
Yeah.
As the year goes on, you get more and more and more leaks, and I am convinced this was not done on accident, because you get this Andrew Garfield leak and he's like, brother, no, I ain't in the movie. But then, you know what? Everybody and their mom, your grandma went and watched this movie.
It's true. Twice.
Because they thought they might get to see old Andrew back in the red and blue spandex.
Do you remember this?
Howdy, were they right?
Do you remember this?
I do.
Do you remember being in this room and talking about it, going,
yeah,
do you think that's real?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that this proved to Disney, hey, if we can leak stuff, the YouTubers will make videos, for us, doing all the marketing for us, right? You're going to get headlines.
That's us.
That's us.
That's us.
We're doing it right now
for them. Who needs a commercial? We're doing it.
Because as you might notice over the past 5 years or so, I mean, budgets are ballooning like crazy. Part of it because of marketing budgets.
Yeah.
And so let's take a more recent example, a little bit into the video game side of the world. You guys know a little game called The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster. You familiar?
I've heard that name.
Yeah, it's a Skyrim prequel.
Okay.
So
Skyrim prequel, you say?
Yeah. So this was it came out, I forget, 2005, I think, is when Oblivion came out. Anyway, there were leaks and leaks and leaks and leaks about this game. And then it gets to, I forget, sometime in March, and they drop a trailer and it releases the same day because you don't need to build hype. The hype had been building for like an entire year. And I swear it had to be on purpose. This one is a little more on the nose. It's like had to have been done on purpose.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think that this has shown the powers that be that, hey, if we do a little strategic leaks, because leak culture and spoilers, that's such a big part of movie making nowadays, right?
That's true.
Loose lips, sink starships, all of this stuff.
Yes.
I think that there are controlled leaks that build hype. Like, I think
definitely.
Because
like Andrew Garfield didn't leak this. It just randomly came up. And then they were like, hey, are you in this movie? And he's like, I'm not in the movie.
Yeah, I think that we can have fun speculating where the strategic leaks happened.
Yes.
But I think at some point they capitalize on it. There's too much that started trickling out. You remember that trailer? The trailer that was taken from, the phone that was like at an angle on the laptop or whatever?
Yeah.
Like the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer?
Yes.
And that got everybody hyped.
Well, what about the gosh, you remember the lizard getting kicked in the head?
Yeah,
but there's only one Spider-Man there.
India trailer.
Yes. But there's only one Spider-Man in the shot, but in the actual movie, there's 3 Spider-Men.
Right, and it came out at just enough time passed where it's like, okay, let's generate buzz, some more buzz.
Because this had died down, and then it's like, wait, there might actually be more Spider-Men in the Spider-Man movie.
So is it too far-fetched to say that maybe Disney's pulling this out again? Because here's the thing, guys, that I think is really important. This is low risk, because if they don't make the movie, like, okay, guys, just let's pretend for a minute. Let's pretend that this is real, okay? That they did leak all this stuff out.
I'm here. I'm pretending it's real.
Lucasfilm is testing the waters, and then they're like, you know what? We decided we're not going to make it. Not worth the investment. So then they just don't have to do anything, because they're like, guys, we didn't announce this.
No.
Like, sorry, we told you it was done.
You got all excited about nothing.
But let's say, like it's been happening, all the fans are like, we are interested, actually. And they're like, oh, okay, we weren't sure if the fans would be into a sequel revival, but it looks like they are. Okay. Yeah. Now they can come out and be like, guys, we're the heroes. We listen.
Exactly.
We listen.
Look at that.
Yeah. We greenlit the movie. We heard you. We made a mistake and we heard you. Guess what? Guess who gets to be the heroes?
They do. Yeah, they do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They're playing us. They're playing us.
That's what you've been saying all along.
That's what I'm saying all along.
All along.
I want to read a little bit from this playlist article because I do think it's really interesting. And it does highlight some of the things that I'm talking about. So this was authored by Rodrigo Perez on October 24th, 2025. Starts out, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I guess 6 months ago, I learned that Steven Soderbergh and Adam Driver had quietly developed a post-Rise of Skywalker Star Wars film titled The Hunt for Ben Solo, written by Scott Z. Burns. But out of an abundance of reported caution, I didn't go forward with the story. This week, Driver himself revealed the project's existence in an Associated Press interview, confirming that he and Soderbergh had worked on a Star Wars movie that never came to fruition. So what's interesting to me about this is it adds a little bit of validity to everything, because it's like, well, this guy knew about it for at least 6 months.
People have been talking.
Yeah, people have been talking about it.
Not behind closed doors.
Right. And so he had said, sorry, I had you muted there for a second.
They've been talking about it.
And hey, real quick, got to give a little shout out to Billy Bob being a Padawan in here. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Wait a minute. I don't have the chat turned on. There we go. There's Billy Bob.
Yeah,
wait, get him back up there. Where'd he go? There he is.
There he is. We appreciate
you. Thanks for being a member.
There's somebody else up there. You missed one.
I did?
I thought so.
I did.
You missed something green. There you go. What's that?
Member for 3 months. TBH, if they bring him back, it might save the sequel trilogy for me. Yeah, I mean, backfilling can do a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Look what the Clone Wars did.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, the playlist can now confirm that the film advanced far beyond development. This is what's huge, right? It had a completed script, the full creative stamp approval from Lucasfilm, including Kathleen Kennedy, and it was greenlight internally before being canceled by Disney executives Bob Iger and Alan Bergman. And so what this reveals is something a little bit more interesting, is that, okay, actually, this made it a little bit farther than a pitch, right? And this was, as Soderbergh points out, the first time, to Kathleen Kennedy's knowledge, that Disney turned down an already funded, ready-to-shoot script.
Oh, my gosh.
So that alone is pretty interesting. Yeah. And so it's like, I mean, when you start laying these up like this, it's like, wow. And I encourage you, go read this playlist article. I'll try to put it in the description. I did not do that. That's my bad. Just type in Hunt for Ben Solo playlist and look at this playlist article, because there's a lot of good stuff.
You're not going to find some like YouTube playlist.
You might actually.
Some Tumblr thread.
If you click news, you'll get it. You know what I mean?
Some sort of Tumblr thread. That'd be crazy.
But anyway, the author goes on to explain how this maybe had a little bit more to do with internal Disney politics, because Bob Iger is set to step down next year, or at least announce the stepping down. Mm-hmm. And hey, big thank you to Levi Fisher with the $1.99. Hey! Probably concept art too. Well, that leak. That's a good question. I don't know if any concept art was developed, but I would have to wager a guess. At least someone had to have been drawing. Yeah, somebody
sketching. Maybe Adam Driver on a napkin.
Maybe Adam Driver on a napkin. But anyway, so it gets into the political, sort of internal Disney political ramifications of all this, because again, he's set to leave coming next year. And this is going to be interesting to see where that goes. And so they're kind of priming internal executives like, hey, what's going to happen? So, guys, with all that said, I'm going to turn your attention to the board one more time, and I'm going to read my conclusion. I should have had the jazz prepped, but I don't. So, Seth, if you can hum some jazz for me, that'd be really helpful. Thank you. I believe that the hunt for Ben Solo was rejected sometime after 2021 for simple, pragmatic reasons. Disney, Iger, and Bergman simply didn't want to take the financial risk for Star Wars, which, let's be honest, at the time was in a tumultuous place.
Yeah.
Star Wars releases slowed significantly once Bob Iger retook leadership in November of 2022. In the 3 years since, of the major Star Wars releases, only Andor Season 2, The Acolyte, Bad Batch Season 2 and 3, and Skeleton Crew and Tales of the Underworld have premiere. Most of those, however, if not all, were in development long before Bob Iger was brought on. Now, the only live-action Disney Plus series in active development that we know of is Ahsoka Season 2, with the rest of the live-action brand being pushed toward a return to the theater with Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026 and with Sean Levy's Starfighter in 2027. Here's my conspiracy conclusion for y'all. You ready? Disney is that with Disney's push for Star Wars to dial back on streaming and return to the big screen, Lucasfilm saw this as an opportunity with The Hunt for Ben Solo. Despite the Rey movie seeing setback after setback, they seem adamant about the return of the sequel trilogy to the big screen. So maybe they can dust off that old Ben Solo script that everyone loved and that they already paid for to do just that. The fact of the matter is that a movie positioned around Ben Solo, Kylo Ren, rather than Rey, is likely to appeal to a wider demographic because of, let's be honest, the controversial nature of the sequels and the unfounded controversy around these starring character of Rey. So maybe just shifting a little bit by saying, hey, this is the Kylo Ren movie, they can, appeal to the peons out there, right? Even if
the plebs,
even if, let's be honest, she's likely to appear in the Ben Solo movie anyway. Now they can use covert marketing tactics akin to Spider-Man No Way Home and something like the Oblivion remaster from Bethesda. They can strategically leak information and keep conversations hot and gauge fan interest. Again, let's look at something a little bit more recent, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and how they are openly capitalizing on behind the scenes marketing rather than being covert about it. I mean, they're inviting fans to take photos and videos and do all the heavy lifting for them. And this isn't even a secret for this one. Like, they're being a little bit more on the nose, where it's like, yeah, you got all the YouTubers in the publications who are doing everything, right? And they don't even need to make a trailer. Yeah, they made the little behind the scenes video, but as far as marketing budgets, my goodness, right? That's pennies. Now with The Hunt for Ben Solo, they have free marketing for a film that doesn't exist, so that when the shareholders convene both yesterday on November 13th, because guess what? Another banner flew over the Disney HQ while they were having that shareholder meeting, which was really funny because that's this right here. The fan said shareholders want The Hunt for Ben Solo. And I don't know if that's true, but I can tell you, me, the fan, and
why not?
Yeah, I want it, right? And they will also reconvene in January. Now Lucasfilm can sit at the table and all point to all of this and be like, see, y'all, told you so. And the timing couldn't be better because we got Legacy of Darth Vader comics that are getting the fans talking about Kylo Ren more than they have any time in the last 6 years. And guess what? The Force Awakens is about to celebrate its 10th anniversary next month. Let's be honest, guys, there's no mincing words. The Star Wars brand, it's been in a rough spot for a few years, let's say. It's been plagued by poor production quality, odd decision-making, and a lack of overhaul coherence, save for some exceptions. You know what they are. Now that the entire fandom is seemingly on board with this new movie, which, let's be honest, that doesn't happen often, Lucasfilm has positioned themselves to be able to swoop in, announce the resurrection of this project with a succinct, "See, we listen," and walk into the sunset a hero, marking a potential new era for the Star Wars brand. Or it's all cope and we're about to get 12 Baby Yoda movies. What do you guys think? I'm with you. I think that's it, right?
I don't know.
I'm on to something.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not.
Well, hit me. I got to hear from the chat. That was a really long-winded.
I was going to say, they're talking about you. They're saying that Bob Chapek took over from Iger at that time.
Yes, that's what I said. He was there in 2021, but we know that Iger is the one that shot it down, and that's the important piece of information, which means that if they were working on it starting in 2021, they had at least a year that they were doing pre-production on this movie. even if that means Bob axed it the second he got into his new role, or into his old role, which is in November of 2022. So yes, of course, Bob Chapek was there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter because it was Bob Iger is the one who shot this down.
Gotcha.
So how would you all feel if they made this a show rather than a movie? Nah. I don't think that. I think they have proven they have to stop taking these movies and turning them into TV shows.
Yeah.
You know why Andor was successful? You know why The Bad Batch was successful? Because they were written to be TV shows. They weren't written to be movies and then split into 6 episodes.
Yeah, look what happened to Kenobi.
That's the exception. That was awesome.
Oh.
So there you go.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently. But look what happened to Kenobi.
Yeah. I want to see more of the connection, Kylo Ren, Rey connection. Yes, of course. And I think that they're here. Like everything's here, you know, and like being a little tongue in cheek, I do kind of believe there's something. I do actually believe there's something with all of this.
Yeah.
But the big thing for me that points to maybe this was something behind the scenes is that this Rey movie's not getting off the ground. They want to return to the sequel trilogy. They know that they kind of want to phase out the Disney Plus shows. And they need to be budget conscious. They already spent $3 million on this script. Adam Driver was already on board. They already had a director attached. They already had a writer attached that wrote the script. Why not say, hey, and by the way, at the end of that AP article, this important to know, Adam Driver mentioned that they wrote this script to be a little bit more Empire Strikes Back, a little bit more indie film, low budget. And I don't know about you, but I would love to see a lower budget Star Wars movie.
That would be kind of interesting.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
Right? I fully believe this is AstroTurf. That's what I'm saying. I think that do I think Disney's going to come out tomorrow and be like, yo, guys, or rather, I've seen this float around online. Do I think that they're going to re-release The Force Awakens in theaters and then at the end it'll close out and say Ben Solo will return? No, I don't.
How crazy would that be?
That'd be insane.
That would be insane.
I do think there is a not zero possibility.
So what you're telling me is there's a chance.
I think that likely it'll probably happen after the January shareholder meeting.
Yeah.
And I know they don't want to pull any of the smoke from Mando and Grogu. So I wouldn't be surprised, maybe as far as Celebration 2027, although that'd be kind of far. I wouldn't be surprised if somewhere between now and Mando and Grogu, they say, hey guys, we heard you.
Loud and clear.
Ben Solo's back on.
We'll make you your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I do see from Levi Fisher. Thank you so much for the $1.99. I appreciate that. Just coming to glaze you guys for a sec. The production quality and passion you guys put into these vids are a breath of fresh air. So glad to be a member of this channel from formerly Piatti Diddy. You changed your name?
You changed your name?
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. That means a lot. You know, I'll admit, a lot of time and effort goes into this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
We were a little late.
Yes, that's why.
I don't know. Disney has canceled projects before. Yes, of course. But this one, like I said, there's just a little too much going on.
It's crazy.
Like leaks.
This was yesterday, right?
Yesterday was the second banner.
Yeah. So
Two
it's
banners
like,
flying
it
over
won't
Lucasfilm.
stop. And the other thing, too, is like the trades are talking about it, like Hollywood Reporter and stuff like that. Why are they not stopping talking about it if it's nothing? Not saying I believe it.
So, Kez, I would say, so Kez says, don't you think if this is a setup that the Star Wars fans would catch on? The thing is, I don't think they'll care. Let me reference the Oblivion remaster again. Everybody was pretty sure this was dropped, but they were like, oh, we don't care. It's fun. Me being a member of that community, I was into it. I'm like, this is fun. You got to be a detective and go out and kind of find things for yourself, right?
A detective?
And that's what made it fun. So I think that realistically, like, the burden of proof is on the fans. Disney could just sit there and be like, even if it is all set up, and even if it is all super obvious, again, look to No Way Home. Plenty of people believe that was strategic leaks as well, but it didn't matter because we all had fun, right? I don't think Disney loses any credibility.
When was the last time you had that much fun?
Right. And by the way, this is another important distinction. I mentioned this at the top, but this is a Lucasfilm versus Disney kind of situation. This is why I always separate the two, because Disney is known for making dumb choices. Let me point no further than Bob Iger, Mr. Iger, popping up again, coming out and saying that they're going to start doing AI generated content on Disney Plus.
Boo.
Big no friggin' thank you. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't like a lot of the corporate decision Disney makes, but when the creative teams are flowing, even if I don't like stuff, taking Star Wars, for instance, I didn't like The Acolyte, no surprise.
Yeah.
But I'm glad somebody got to make something.
Yeah.
That's all.
Someone, at least they got to shoot their shot.
But if you're telling me they're going to start throwing AI generation out there, that's where Disney loses more credibility. And let's face it, Disney doesn't need any help losing credibility. So,
Yeah.
you know, but this is why I always position Lucasfilm and Disney as two separate entities, because this is a moment where we see they are two separate entities. And oh my gosh, you guys are going nuts with the super chats. I see Andrew Wilson. Thank you for the 5, folks.
Thank you.
Vanity Fair's Lucasfilm sources said that when Iger came back, he quietly canceled the 3 movies and announced a celebration in 2023. Thoughts? I would not be surprised. I mean, I think that he came in to clean house.
Oh, yeah.
In 2023.
He's like, look, we're hemorrhaging money at this point, so we got to figure something out.
Yeah, I think that that's absolutely possible, but I think that Disney is being sly here. I think maybe, again, with my conspiracy brain here, I think that maybe Lucasfilm is saying, okay, Disney, you want to cancel a movie that we know is going to do well? Let me show you how big of a mistake you made. Yeah. That way we all come to the table in January, we can be like, come on, guys.
Time to pay up.
Huh? Yeah. And again, back to the internal Disney politics. I don't claim to be an expert in this kind of stuff, but I know there's been a lot of talk about who's going to be Iger's successors, and there are 2 different people that are kind of vying for that top spot. We've got the person who heads up the Disney parks and the person who heads up some of the more creative decisions. And it's like, okay, which route are we going? Business, creativity, you know? And I think that Lucasfilm is maybe, again, if you believe all this, Lucasfilm was coming out to say, guys, creativity needs to be back on the table. Let's stop being safe.
Creativity's back on the menu, boys.
Let's do something that the fans want to see, and let's have a little bit of fun, right? I also see from Matthew Green, thank you for the $9.99.
Thank you.
I don't know why. Every time I hit the heart, it goes away. Never attribute to malice what can be adequately explained as incompetence. Of course, but Disney wouldn't have any care to can any non-profitable projects. Well, I'm not attributing any malice to them. As I said in my conclusion, I think that they canceled it for a very pragmatic reason.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about, too, 2021, what was happening in the world. It wasn't exactly well,
2022.
We were coming off the tail end of that.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So, and also, like, every project ever had been affected by that. Yeah. So let's be honest.
So I'm not saying that Disney canceled it with the hope of creating this campaign. I think they canceled it for very pragmatic reasons, which is like, hey, the sequels aren't hot right now. This isn't going to make money. Star Wars isn't doing well financially. Let's can it. But now Lucasfilm is maybe trying to say, hey, how do we get, this back in the conversation, because the Rey movie's not doing so well. That's all I'm saying. And by the way, big thank you to Sci-Fi for welcome to Padawan.
Hey, welcome to Padawan.
Wasn't the writer's strike in 2022? Yeah, that could have had something.
I was going to say again.
But, I mean, we know this was written though, so it's all part of this. It's all part of the breadcrumbs. Wait, are you guys?
Are you on it? Are you not?
Are you drinking the Kool-Aid?
Are you with us? Or are you not
with us?
What do you think?
Are we here? Are you here? Are you with me on this one? Look at the board, folks. Follow the lines, the breadcrumbs. They're all here. You see what I'm saying? The hunt for Ben Solo, it's right around the corner. No one.
Not a soul.
Not a soul.
Not a soul.
I'm just talking to the void, a brick wall.
Yeah, I guess so.
Out in the Dune Sea, I'm pacing an alleyway looking for breadcrumbs that aren't there.
Just looking for something to make you feel something.
I'm up to my ears in Kool-Aid. That's what I like to see, kids. Let's get a round of applause. That's right. We're there. Hey. The AI bubble seems to be bursting, so there's no human creativity. Cheers, fellas. Look, so as a brief tangent, I used to be a lot more moderate on the whole AI issue. No longer. I am very radicalized on this. AI is,
yeah,
I hate it.
No, I agree.
I hate it. I used to be like, it's fun for your grandma to use.
Yeah.
You could, if you want to make dumb memes in your bedroom, whatever.
If your grandma wants to talk to the robot, it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, man, there's just too many. Gosh.
Yeah.
The environmental concerns.
Oh,
for
dude.
One.
I did not realize, and I don't know, I could be wrong.
Ethical sourcing.
Yes.
And not just mention, if none of that was there, it's the lack of soul, guys.
It's true.
It's awful.
Yep.
It's awful.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I don't even know if this is a real statistic. I just heard that it takes a bottle of water for the coolant.
Yeah.
To keep for one prompt. One prompt. A whole bottle of water, and maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just being recycled or whatever to keep that coolant going. But
it
still,
takes up a lot of land. My goodness, the server space. Yeah,
yes,
no, it's
ridiculous.
Garbage. And I'll be honest,
soulless.
I try not to get too deep into this tangentially political topics on the channel, but if Disney does go forward with a lot of this AI stuff, that might be, I forgive Disney for things because I support individual artists. I support the authors who write the books. I support the filmmakers and the people, who are creating these things. Yeah. But man, when corporatism oversteps, and that's like the biggest overstep of corporatism, is taking the artist out of the equation. Dude, that might be it for me. That would probably be like, I don't know how we'll cover Star Wars content at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't mean to get on too big of a tangent. I don't like to talk about that stuff often on here, but it does involve the art, and
yes,
it does drive me nuts. So, oh my goodness, I see another $1.99 from Levi Fisher again.
Hey.
Are you guys up for speculating on the plot? I don't know. I guess we've been pitching what this movie would be.
Actually,
or rather, that this movie could exist.
I don't.
Do you have any ideas on what a movie could be, Seth?
I haven't. What do you think I've been writing?
You not been taking notes on all my awesome theories?
No, I actually. Guys, I wrote this movie. That's what I've been working on this whole time.
Wow! Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. You want to talk about my movie?
You wrote a pitch for The Hunt for Ben Solo?
I wrote the movie. So, do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah, let's show. You know what, Disney, listen. We're on to you guys. We're on to you over here. We see what you're doing, and you know what? You need a little help. I get it. Now, I've not seen that script by Scott Burns, but we've peered into the world between worlds, and Seth's got a little something that you might see in a theater near you, in a galaxy not so far away, and a little closer in the future. I don't know. I kind of messed that up. Seth, what do you got?
I got you. Oh, fun fact, guys. This is the first time you're going to hear this too. Is I just wrote this. So let's give
while I was sitting here, I thought you were taking faithful notes.
I wrote. Here's my treatment for the movie. So right, let's do this.
What do you got?
Okay. So this story takes place weeks, maybe months after the rise of Skywalker. Poe and the Resistance are taking out final order cells. Okay. You with me?
With you.
With you. Okay. He's taken on kind of a bit of an Indiana Jones role. All right. He's scooping up artifacts and stuff like that as they're taking out things. You know how he was dressed in Rise of Skywalker. He's really coming to his own. Guess what? Zori Bliss, Babu Frick, they're also hanging out with him. Yeah.
Continue.
Hey. All right. You with me so far? Yeah, so he's there. Okay. All right. So the hunt for Ben Solo already sounds super pulpy, so I'm going to run with it. So Poe's going to kind of be our Indiana Jones kind of filler. Okay. You with me so far? Everybody at home with me so far?
I'm with you.
Okay, cool. All right. So while this is all happening, Finn has begun his Jedi training with Rey. Okay. They're sparring with training sabers. Okay. While they're sparring, she gets a flash of Kylo Ren and she immediately stops. She's very shaken, frustrated, and not sure she's doing the right thing. All of a sudden, a familiar voice is heard. The life force of your bond, a dyad in the force, a power like life itself, unseen for generations, and now that power, or the power of two, restores the one true emperor, ringing in her head.
So what you're telling me is somehow Palpatine returned again.
Hold on. Suddenly, Luke appears, and he encourages her that even teachers still have a lot of learning to do. He also hints that others in the galaxy might still need teaching beyond Finn. You with me so far?
Okay.
All right. Poe arrives in his X-Wing, and he's in search of, and I'm sorry, guys, I was here. I'm over here typing. I just have MacGuffin because I'm not sure yet. But my villain is going to be Admiral Emmerich. Okay.
Who's Admiral Emmerich?
I don't know. He's the last he's the last leader of the Final Order cells.
Okay.
Gotcha.
He's like the Thrawn of the Final Order.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he blue?
And he's what?
Is he blue?
I don't know.
Is he red?
Maybe he's a Twilight. Who knows? I'm not sure.
I don't know. The Final Order is a little racist.
I'm not. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's just the guy. I'm not sure.
Hey, thanks for the $5, Andrew Wilson or Alexander. I'm sorry. Did I say Andrew earlier? I apologize for that. Alexander Wilson, you guys didn't talk about the Kinberg trilogy that was announced. He said he is taking inspiration from Andor for creating the trilogy. Thoughts? I don't know much about that. I've been too busy learning about Ben Solo. You'll have to fill us in the chat. Sorry to take a moment away from Seth here.
Yeah, you're fine.
But So we're not typically topical on this channel because we just don't like to do that unless we're covering a new show that's coming out. This was an exception because we had too many thoughts. Just to peek behind the curtain, I don't really follow a lot of that stuff until like I want to see a trailer. When I see a trailer, I know the movie's real, then I'll follow it. This was just a little too interesting for me.
There's a lot of smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire, kids.
Yeah,
there's fire.
So I don't know anything about that. You'll have to clue us in maybe in the chat.
Yes.
So I apologize. Continue.
So Poe arrives and tells them that he's in search of a MacGuffin. Okay. The last cell of the final order seems to be rallying around this individual who has it, the individual Admiral Emmerich, okay, and his MacGuffin. Poe is curious that maybe with Rey, maybe she overheard something with her conversations with Kylo Ren or the Emperor. Okay. All right. Ben Solo wakes up in the world between worlds, a place between life and death, a place made up of the Force itself.
Okay, so we're gonna see Kylo Ren now, or Ben Solo.
Ben Solo, yes. Cool. Okay, so I'm thinking this is going now. Okay, like now I'm just gonna kind of talk you through the rest of it.
Yeah, that's the setup. Okay,
yeah, I wrote out all your setup, and then okay. Now I'm just gonna kind of talk to you about it. Okay. So I'm thinking this is going to be we're going to run with this whole dyad story. We're going to have two parallel stories going along with each other. I'm thinking kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End's our template because one's dead, one's alive, and they're trying to get to each other. You follow me with that? Okay.
Speaking my language now. Okay.
Ray and the gang need to find information that Ben had to stop Admiral Emmerich. They're going on a journey that so they can be able to speak to him again. While he's running a parallel story, of redemption, he's going to have to face three faces from his past. Very similar to the situation with Han. I'm going to be taking, let's think Rise of Skywalker mixed with A Christmas Carol. You with me so far?
I am very down.
Okay, cool. All right, so both he and Rey will have to face their enemy, face themselves, and face their fear. And that's going to be their three things that they're going to both have to be facing through the dyad as they're both, as Kylo's facing people, Rey's also going to be facing people.
He's still dead at this point,
He is still dead. And that's, but here we go. Okay. The journey's going to come together at Vader's castle because we know it's a tuning fork for the Force. That's going to be the gateway that they can use.
To bring Ben back through. Now, is Ben like, yes, he's dead, but is he kind of like trapped in a limbo?
He's not dead yet.
Right. Yeah, he's like, because of the dyad.
Exactly.
He's like anchored because of Rey.
Yes, he's anchored because of Rey. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm thinking that he's going to have an encounter with Hux and Snoke. He's going to have an encounter with Ren, the guy he killed to become Kylo Ren.
Okay.
And then he's going to have an encounter with Luke. And Rey is going to have an encounter with Leia, an encounter with Palpatine, and then an encounter with Luke. And they're going to go in parallel with each other. And I know, I'm probably getting some like fan film.
No, I'm just like, Levi, that's hilarious. I'm not bringing that up.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
Thanks for the $1.99 though. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway. Okay. So that, how's Ben going to be able to come back? They're going to be able to use the Vader's,
the tuning fork.
Yeah, he's going to use the tuning fork basically to be able to make him come back. And this is my one cinematic shot. It's not going to work at first, but Babu Frick's going to fix it. He's going to be the one that he's going to connect the thing that's broken, the broken plug. Except he's going to be like, the cast is ready, and then he's going to smack it together.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've got it in there. And so, do you have any questions about it? I don't know. What's everyone? I don't know. Yeah, there we go.
People say you're cooking.
Yeah, people are. Am I cooking? Am I not cooking? Would you guys watch this movie? I'll tell you what. I read that little beginning to my wife, and I was like, "Am I onto something, or is this okay?" And she's like, "I think it's good. Keep going." Then I wrote the rest of this. Then I read it to
it's not over.
No, I mean, I'm getting towards the end. I read the rest of this to a guy I work with, and he goes, no joke, I would sit and watch that movie. I was like, okay, cool. All right, I'm on to something. So anyway, what's going to end up happening is you're probably wondering, is this just a final movie? No, this is probably going to be the beginning of another 3 movies. Okay. Yeah, and because I was going to say, we can't take out Admiral Emmerich after all this. This is the hunt for Ben Solo. This gets Ben Solo back. And then now the whole gang is together to fight against Admiral Emmerich. And you're probably like, Seth, who are you going to bring back? I'm going to bring them all back. Because if they're dead, doesn't matter. I'm going to bring them back with the world between worlds. Just to have cameos.
Wait, what? You're going to bring people back? Why?
No, like if you're like, well, Hux is dead. It's all right. I'm going to use him in the world between worlds. Kylo will encounter him. He'll talk to him as a ghost.
Oh, so basically Kylo's got to go through, or Ben has to go through sort of reckoning with his past.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to have to face his fear. He's going to have to face his enemy, and he's going to have to face himself. And through that, he's going to have to face Snoke and Hux. He's going to have to face Ren, the guy that he killed to become Kylo Ren. And then he's going to have one final encounter with Luke. And then Rey is also going to be doing that in parallel. I think it's going to be Leia. I don't know. But she's definitely going to have to face Palpatine, and she's also going to be talking to Luke. And I'm going to be real. You're probably going to hate me for this. This is Luke's like send off. He's gonna be like, guys, you've got this going forward.
Yeah, I don't hate that because that's like
that's the whole thing.
An Heir to the Empire.
Yep.
I loved that Ben in the beginning of that movie, Ben Kenobi, not Solo. Mm-hmm. He kind of leaves Luke to it. He's like, hey, you learned everything you need to know.
Exactly, and that's kind of like this is where he's like, guys, this is your fight now. And
even though he already said that.
Yeah. What?
He said that in Rise of Skywalker.
I know, but I mean, I'm like he's hammering that home that basically he gets them back together, and then that's it. He's gonna be like, okay. This is it. So
this is all about getting them reunited, and then your B story is about Emmerich and the Resist or the New Republic, whatever it is at this point, trying to
stop this last cell.
Stop this last cell
from the final order.
Okay. Yeah. Cooking.
There we go.
Cooking.
That's it.
Thank you, Gabby, about books. AI could never. That's Seth is on it. That's my favorite thing. What Albo says: Star Wars at Worlds. Star Wars at Worlds Between Worlds. Love the Pirates of the Caribbean mention. Yeah. That would be sick.
Yeah. But do you like the idea of parallel stories going on, but then we're getting like links between the...
That's honestly what I would have, if they ever do Kenobi season 2.
Yeah.
If it's not just Obi-Wan having a spiritual journey in the desert, I would like that with him and Vader. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So I love that idea about the dual story.
Yeah.
And about using this as an
here's the
opportunity.
idea. Dead, alive, and they're slowly getting closer to the same spot. Like he's working his way to the temple through the world between worlds, and she's working her way to the fortress in real life. And then so they can do the whole...
That'd be cool.
Yeah. And again, Babu Frick fixing it.
Babu Frick.
It's got to be
He's the man.
Yep, that's it. He's the one who hooks the battery back together or whatever. I don't know. Gets the tuning fork exactly.
If this would be the start to a trilogy, what I would like to see, in my opinion, is Ben Solo having to reckon with what it means to be redeemed, because Vader never has to deal with that.
It's
the only time we really see this is with Crosshair and Callus.
Yeah.
We see, but even... I think it's a little sanitized with Callus. Not that his character's not great, but we don't get to see what's the real world result of it. And I would love to see Ben Solo have to reckon with that.
Something I brought up to you earlier. Do you remember what I sent to you a couple days ago? About
don't remind me. You sent me a lot of things.
I know. We talk a lot. But, so we talk a lot. Like our last episode, we talked about what is Luke Skywalker's greatest moment. What's he do?
Mm-hmm.
He throws away his weapon.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Solo also threw away his weapon, granted for different reasons, but he's in kind of a similar situation as Luke is. He throws away his weapon. He goes and faces down the bad guy, and the Force provides him a weapon, kind of like his uncle.
Yeah. And
so I feel like that we can now have this the story of a Jedi trying to find his place in the world.
Yeah, no, I think that's cool.
Along with his Force using girlfriend.
I think it'd be cool if this one is where, like, because there's two different sides of redemption, in my opinion, to come back to this throwing away the lightsaber thing. I think that's a declaration. Same thing Luke has, except for Luke's not evil, but he almost makes the choice.
Oh no, he
Ben makes his choice a little later than Luke, but it's okay. Yeah. He throws it down to assume his identity as a Jedi once again. It's huge. It's about rescinding your darkness and taking on.
It's a very similar beat when you think about it.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty similar.
Yeah.
And so I think your pitch is great because it shows that Ben, okay, let's reckon with sort of the cosmic consequences of what it means to be redeemed.
Yep.
In that, like, your sins are forgiven, but what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then now movie 2, now that he's in the real world again.
Yeah. Now he's got to deal with Poe, who he, ripped his mind apart. He's got to deal with Finn.
Well, and he has to deal with the galaxy at large.
It's true.
Like, what does it mean to be redeemed?
Yep.
And that's what I like saying from Crosshair in Bad Batch season 3 is we had to see, this guy did some bad stuff. Are we just going to let him off the hook? No, probably not.
Yeah.
And so Ben's going to have to work through that. And I would love if it wasn't, I don't want him to be some sage who's like, no, I have to pay for my crimes. He should still have a chip on his shoulder. I mean, he's Han's son after all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm down.
I want him to be like Winter Soldier, but not as wimpy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate said it best right here. I would just really love to see Ben do the work to redeem himself. Yeah, I just want to see what that means, because we always tie the redemption of Darth Vader to our own faith on the show.
Yeah.
As I think, I still think there had to have been some purposeful in some way on the part of Lucas. I don't know. I heard this before, that even if it wasn't, the gospel's written on our hearts. So
it's true.
It comes through in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
And being able to redeem yourself, be forgiven no matter what, is so huge, and why we watch stories, to kind of learn these big lessons. But in the real world, if you're real bad, and let's say you're a horrible person, you do horrible things like Vader did, you ask the Lord for forgiveness, he will forgive.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're free of consequence from the world. Yeah. So that's what I would love to see with Ben, is that
he has real world consequences.
He's accepted his redemption.
Yeah.
He's right with the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what does that mean now? And how does he have to reckon with the galaxy around him?
Yeah.
That's what I would love to see from this movie. And honestly, it sounds like that's kind of where they were going to go a little bit, just from everything we've learned, is that they wanted it to be a lot more character driven, a lot smaller, lower budget. Man, I want that. Not just for this movie, but just across the board with Star Wars.
Yeah.
So good, right?
Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
This is cool. And I'm happy you liked my pitch. It was fun. I was really nervous that people would not like, that people would be like, that's stupid.
No.
What are you doing, kid?
When does Seth have a bad idea?
Oh,
never.
All the time.
Never.
All the time.
Levi with another $1.99. You're too kind. Man. And the greater threat when he's back, the Yuzong Vong. I think that's more of a, in my personal
Dude, that's
opinion,
like a galaxy-wide threat, man. Let's first take out Admiral Emmerich.
Well, I want to see that on the prettiest story, the Ahsoka.
Yeah.
That's what, something like that. It doesn't need to be the Yuzong Vong, but something like that.
They just make so many problems.
I just take the idea and make something.
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I saw we had another one from, sorry, I can't see it. Cosmonaut 9999.
Hey.
Love the treatment, Seth. Do y'all have made a lot of doll hours fun lately? Any plans to start uploading on Spotify again? I love listening at work. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. So the reason why is because we don't our show is a lot more visually oriented now than it used to be. So I feel bad posting to Spotify. I know Spotify does video, but I remember we did get a DM or two from back when we started doing more visual videos. People were like, "Hey, this was great, but I couldn't see what you guys. I was driving and I couldn't see what you guys were talking about." So maybe I'll start doing it again.
Do it.
Posting to Spotify and just kind of let the dominoes fall. So I do apologize. But thank you for the kind words. I really do appreciate that.
Yes.
On this note, I always thought it would have been more interesting if Rey died and Ben lived. I totally agree with that. But the movie also wouldn't have time to deal with that. So maybe it's okay that didn't happen, because then you get your feel good ending with Rey going to Tatooine and you get to see the ghosts. And there is something to that. I do like that ending. Rise of Skywalker is an interesting beast. But if this was, say, the middle movie, or like there was another act to the film, then yes, I think that would have been really interesting to see some of these concepts we were just discussing, how they could have dealt with them. He could have also interacted with Ezra. He's forgiving and come back with, it seems to, I'm sorry, I cannot read this from this far away. Gotta like,
do you want me to read it?
Sides. No, I can see it. He could also interact with Ezra. He's forgiving and come back, and he seems to have the temperament that would be suitable to help someone who's fallen. Yeah, I mean, maybe. That also depends on if Ezra's still alive, which I'm really interested to see where that story is going to go. Because
it's true.
You
can't have too many Jedi floating around.
No, you can't. It's such a problem.
Yep.
It's like we have two weird stories going on that are happening at the same time. It's like, okay, these guys aren't in the original trilogy. Fine. But they're not in the sequels too.
Yeah.
Like, those are two pretty big conflicts. I think that pretty is the answer to all of that, as we're going to see. But I'm also excited that the Ahsoka timeline seems to be pretty disconnected from the sequels.
Yes.
I complained a lot during our Shadow of the Sith review that too many things are anchored by the sequels. Although the Hunt for Ben Solo would be a different story, because this is a sequel.
All after.
So that's
all after, so you're not going to fall into that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I see from Albo, if Kylo returns, he should at least have a helmet. Nah, let him show that face.
You're going to hide that? You're going to cover that?
You're going to cover that up?
You're going to cover that.
I did see somebody on Instagram.
Please not in all white.
It was white. Well, no, it was like a gray. But instead of the red, it was the gold kintsugi.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I mean, it's fun as a fun concept.
Yeah. Maybe you're going to cover that up.
Maybe if he became a Ronin, he could do that.
Yeah.
Pretty and Tantalor are the only ways that I see to have separate Jedi survive. Yeah, but dude, even Tanalor is like, guys, quit writing it. Like, there are more creative excuses to why characters aren't in movies than just, there's a secret planet that nobody could get to. Come on. That's just, it's lame to me.
I agree.
Like, okay, you did it with Ezra and it worked. I'm down.
Yeah.
But it's more interesting for me, what they implied with Ahsoka is that she's dealing with some serious mental issues about like she's depressed and like what's going on. Like what happened with Anakin shattered her. And so she's doing what she can. She surrendered her Jedi status and went to go help people around the galaxy.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. But you can't keep doing this with everybody. You know what I mean? At some point we have to ask these people who are the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. They're not going against the Empire. They're not going against the First Order. I don't know. Just too much of that, in my opinion. We need more good guys with cool helmets like Margrave from the Ninth Jedi. That, to be fair, that's cool. That's a cool character. So
what if he wore the helmet during like his like reckoning or whatever, when he's like figuring, like he wakes up during one of his encounters and he's in the helmet?
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a cool scene in Rise of Skywalker behind you. I like this scene.
It's a great scene. Isn't it?
This is your pitch. They're doing stuff through the Force.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing, is I want it to be like, yeah. That they, they're on parallel journeys.
So there you go, guys. The hunt for Ben Solo.
Ben Solo.
It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's going to be here any day now, where the Lucasfilm's going to swoop in and say, guys, you were right. We listened. The movie's coming. This guy's going to be in it. Hold on. No, right? It's coming. Now, one more. He'll be back too. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
So, yeah. Anyways, so there's the pitch for Seth's movie. Did we convince you guys that the hunt for Ben Solo is real? It's been astroturfed. And if you are convinced it's real, would you like to see Seth's pitch? Gotta let us know in the comments below. What do you think?
Maybe we'll make it.
Maybe we'll make it.
Maybe we'll make it. Maybe can I play Ben? Oh, what was that? Does that still work?
Only when it's something important.
Boys, I hear you wrapped up that Solo job. Good work, real clean.
Depends on your definition of clean. What can we do for you, detective?
I got another one for you. Cold case. Been sitting on the shelf for, let's say, 10 years. Anniversary's coming up. Thought you two might want to take a crack at it.
10 years. That really narrows it down to like one really loud December.
Exactly. Something happened back then. Something big. And, some folks say it, killed Star Wars.
And you want us to figure out what or who did it.
That's the job, boys. One victim, 3 suspects, same franchise. You start with the first one. Files in the mail.